And on the other side, there where Clifton 4 is, there you can see the beaches now on our right, in between the apartments. Now Clifton 4 on the other side is where the bungalows is. Those small little houses is now known as the bungalows at Clifton. And the bungalows at Clifton is very expensive. You'll see another cable car here on the left. We're passing it now. They are sealed.
Oh, I see.
Now this is a new thing. This is the last 3 to 4 months that they now have made themselves at home there on those rocks. I don't know how some of them get onto those higher rocks, but anyway, maybe at high tide.
So we have stopped at Hawke's Bay, and we're going to do a little shopping and walking around the bay, and everybody else is going on a little boat ride to an island where some seals are, and we have elected to stay here on the shore. More video of Hawke's Bay. We've been watching a South African military helicopter doing maneuvers and retrieving people out of the water. They looked like they were in dry suits, so it's obviously an exercise. Very nice helicopter. Beautiful little bay.
I need quiet, slow.
So there is Hout Bay where we were a few minutes ago. We have driven along this little road on the side, up, around, on our way to Cape Point, which will take us a whole day to get around.
10 to 1. Little lizard over there. Quite tame actually.
Susan has found a lizard.
You see on this side, on the hills, the cliffs, you see the metal nets that they've put up to catch the rocks from falling onto the road.
É bom não tirar esse ferro, né?
O quê?
Não é bom não tirar o ferro.
É um mar. Ok, pega na praia agora.
And this is where we were just standing. We've stopped at an ostrich farm. It's a beautiful day. It's Saturday. And we have come to an ostrich farm.
These are obviously breeding bears.
Excellently handsome young man.
The mist at about 9 o'clock position. That's Simonsberg or Simons Mountain. That's where Stellenbosch is.
Our first view of False of Bay as we go out Cape Point toward the lighthouse, and then the real Atlantic Ocean ahead.
This reserve, they've tried to keep. When they established the reserve in the 1930s, there were two farms. Now tried to rehabilitate those areas. We will see trees and things like that coming up ahead. That's not indigenous. That's not fynbos. That's not really vegetation of the area, but they've kept them there for the time being. Personally, I reckon they should have cut them out, but it's around the old farm buildings.
A Wunderbuck. Very rare.
Spell that, Andre?
B-O-N-T-E-B-O-K. Wunderbuck.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, the one on the left, they the ones.
Pretty. We don't have anything to eat.
Just get a little bit higher, yeah. I can smell them. They gave that baby food, yeah. Now how did he didn't smell that? There was a signal somewhere. Did one of them shout or make a noise?
I didn't hear any noise.
That's how he felt.
Is that someone with a baby?
I don't know.
It looks like she's got a baby on her underneath.
Oh yes, yeah, that's a mother with a baby on the stomach.
Picking off some
Oh, she just got him hanging up.
Upside down.
picking off.
Look at that male sitting on the rock. What a picture.
Oh my God.
Never mind, never mind. Never mind.
Your water.
We've seen some ostriches that we've wandered upon getting close, and as soon as we get to the very tip down there, we will be the southwesternmost point of Africa. A lot of people think that it's that the Cape of Good Hope is the most farther south part of Africa, but it's not. Point Aurelius is farther east and is farther south, but it doesn't make a point like this, and people don't think of it as being as far south, but it is. And this is the biome here at the Cape that makes up such a small portion of the world. It's plant life, but it is one of the 7 biospheres of plant life. Something totally different from anything we've seen. Very few species that are overlap the rest of the world. Cape of Good Hope, the most southwesterly point of the African continent.
Sometimes you see some rock hyraxes around here.
Wow. The lighthouse of the Cape of Good Hope was at the top of this. We have taken a funicular up to the top.
You can zigzag down to the beach, so not many people go there really, but they know about it. Okay guys, let me see now. Not really good for swimming, as you can see the back is very bad over there. And then the pathway continues down to that point in the distance. That is the Cape of Good Hope Point, that point running down there. This over here, where we are now, running down behind us, where the lighthouse is, this is known as Cape Point. This is Cape Point. If you look on the other side, water, you see there's a beach.
False Bay.
That's where we were earlier. Buffels Bay. Buffels Bay, that's where Vasco da Gama landed, on that beach. Because it was much closer to the source
Vasco da Gama landed on that beach in the far distance. And Diaz Bartholomew landed here. Now that is the Cape of Good Hope right here. This is the Cape of Good Hope. And this will be Cape Point, but it points west. This points south.
Muslims and Christians, but nonetheless that's when Istanbul into Table Mountain. He didn't see this beach. He didn't see Cape Point. He didn't see Cape Agulhas going around that storm on his way down. On his way back, he did. You see Cape Agulhas, he landed over here. And when he landed here, he said, oh, this is the Cape we didn't see on our way down. We call it the Cape of Storms. So at first in his diary, he wrote, this is the Cape of Storms. On his way back, now there's two versions. None is official. Now I would rather give Dias the credit. The first version says, when he got back to Portugal, King John II that financed all of this, said, listen, nice idea to call it Cape of Storms because you didn't see it on the way down because of the storm. But with all your knowledge that you've got now, and it appeared that the coastline was going northeast when you turned around at Port Elizabeth, with all that knowledge, we have very good hope now, with that knowledge, to eventually one day reach India. So you should call this the Cape of Good Hope, not the Cape of Storms. But the second version says Dias, on his journey back to Portugal, he renamed it after rethinking for the same reasoning I've just mentioned. So if King John II or Dias did it, but anyway, it was renamed as the Cape of Good Hope. Now that piece of land jutting out there, that is the Cape of Good Hope Point. That's the Cape of Good Hope Point. This whole area, all the way to Table Mountain, is known as the Cape of Good Hope. So the area in general is the Cape of Good Hope, but that's the Cape of Good Hope.
That is the point of the Cape of Good Hope.
You know, this area is the Cape of Storms, but we still that term for this area, the Cape of Storms in winter, we have very strong conditions, a lot of ships.
So now we're up to Cape Point, and to the left is False Bay, and you can see the other side of it. And to the right is the Atlantic Ocean, and slightly more to the right is the Cape of Good Hope, the tip of the Cape of Good Hope. This is the point, Cape Point, which is really neat. So technically it's all Atlantic Ocean, although a lot of people call everything to the left as Indian
Get
Ocean.
down so that I can show you the new lighthouse at the bottom.
So that's going to get up on the rock there. Oh, there's two, there's two. Nope.
Also known as jackass penguins, and you can, if you hear them, you'll understand why. Sounds like we have a whole colony of donkeys. They are so cute.
Just one in the way. There's one out to sea. One's going out to sea.
Yeah, sometimes they also just sort of wash themselves, play around and